بالله من الشيطان. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. ويعلم الذين يجادلون في آياتنا ما لهم من محيص. الحياة الدنيا فالله خير وأبقى. آمنوا وعلى ربهم. Translation. In the name of Allah, leaving them motionless on its surface. Surely, that are signs for every disciplined, grateful person. Or he would wreck them because of what they have earned, and yet he pardons much. Those who dispute our signs know that there is no asylum for them. Sadaqallahul Azim. Ladies and gentlemen, the dispute of Kashmir is the oldest unresolved international conflict in the world. Pakistan considers Kashmir as its core political dispute, and this claim is widely acknowledged by bulk of the international community, except by the belligerent India, who has forceful annexation of Kashmir Valley for decades. However, Pakistan is adamant in its stance on Kashmir dispute and is constantly denouncing India's savagery upon innocent Kashmiris. Indian forces continue to create an environment of terror and harassment in the valley of Kashmir. The valley where inhabitants are the Muslim majority has been turned into human tragedy and graveyard. The world community at large and United Nations in particular need to influence and exert pressure on the pluralistic Indian government to stop human rights violation and carnage of Kashmiri Muslims. Ladies and gentlemen, let me remind you that it only takes a spark of a genius or a pinch of passion to make big things happen. A rule of injustice, cruelty, and despotism cannot persist for a longer time. The revolutions against rotten and wicked rulers emerge and engulf their lives even. The freedom movement by our Kashmiri brethren for the last 7 decades will bring peace and liberty to their land. We pay homage to the Kashmiri martyrs who have sacrificed their precious lives to set this land free out of unjust and forceful occupation. With a view to further broaden our understandings on the topic, historical background, current situation and possible solution of Kashmir, we are extremely fortunate to have a worthy guest speaker, Mr. Atiq Raja. Indeed, this blissful interaction with our speaker on the topic would surely add to a repertoire of knowledge and understanding on Kashmir issue. Ladies and gentlemen, it is a matter of great pride and honor for me to introduce you to the illustrious career of our worthy guest speaker. Mr. Atiq Raja has done his graduation in political science and post-graduation in English literature with distinction. He is a pedagogue of high stature and quality who has taught in different colleges and universities for years to enlighten youth of our land. Presently, he is heading International Kashmir Cause Committee and a national youth program named Pakistan Youth Council having chapters in various cities of the country. The worthy guest speaker is accredited for having delivered more than 3,000 sessions on education, life skills, Kashmir Cause, anti-narcotics, national integration, human rights and fifth generation warfare. He has the honor of representing Pakistan in 13 other countries and has received 2 international peace awards from South Korea and Sri Lanka. He is the man with a strong vision to make Pakistan a peaceful and prosperous state through continued efforts for youth development. In short, the worthy guest speaker is a sincere philanthrope, and there is no doubt that he is an epitome of peace and prosperity both on national and international fronts. He is an adamant and volunteer contributor who is highly committed to broaden the intellectual horizons of students across Pakistan. Sir, on behalf of the Deputy Commandant, faculty and cadets, it is my pride privilege to welcome you in today's activity. Sir, now I humbly request you to kindly enlighten us on the topic of this geostrategic importance. Ladies and gentlemen, the highly respected guest speaker of today, Mr. Atiq Raja.
In the name of Allah, is most gracious and merciful. I'm highly thankful to the Deputy Commandant, all the faculty and the cadets for inviting me over and having time with you to speak about a conflict, an issue, a dispute which is of great importance on the humanitarian grounds in the 21st century. When we talk about the historical background of Kashmir, this issue started at the partition of Pakistan and India and the departure of British rulers. When you go to the instant pages of history, you come to know that how long it has been, how terrible it has been for the people of Kashmir who have been facing the terrorism and extremism imposed by Indian government, Indian army in Kashmir. 26 October, Maharaja Hari Singh, the ruler of that time of Kashmir, runs to India for accession. This is what is being known as that Maharaja Hari Singh came for the support because he was at that time the ruler of Kashmir. But when you see the partition formula, you come to know the formula of partition was that the majority of Muslim areas would go to Pakistan and the majority of Hindu areas would go to Hindustan. At this time, the Kashmir's population, over 95% was Muslim population. Maharaja's claim was just to save his regime, just to save his kingship. He goes to India, asks for affiliation, and 26 October he says, and 27 October Lord Mountbatten replies yes. At this stage, they call it Instrument of Accession, IOA. White Ulster Land, who is authority on South Asia history, says that it is a fake document produced by India. when things go on, the people of Kashmir did not accept this formula by the Hari Singh, by the Mountbatten, and announced a fight against Hari Singh's regime. They requested the founder of Pakistan, Qaid-e-Azam Muhammad Ali Jinnah, for support. Our forces were newly born forces. So the tribal brethren said yes to the ask of Qaid-e-Azam Muhammad Ali Jinnah and reached for the support of Kashmiri brethren for the freedom of their land. Very interestingly, you see that 33 to 35% area which is called Free Kashmir, that is just because of that support of tribal brethren to the indigenous Kashmiris who stood up against the Maharaja. And then what happened, history tells us that who went to United Nations first. It is India who went to United Nations first. Here you have to just try to understand the role of United Nations as well. That how did United Nations work initially and how did they behave in the middle period which starts from 47 to 2020. And here you have to check it out that how Kashmiris have been terrorized throughout these 7 decades. United Nations received the Indian request called the debates, like you people practice the parliamentary debate kind of thing. Debates happen, formula given that the tribals should be withdrawn, Indian forces should be withdrawn, and under the observation of peace ambassadors, peace observers, plebiscite, referendum would help and give the chance to those who have to decide for the fate of Kashmir. And who were those? They were the indigenous Kashmiris. On the saying of United Nations, our tribal brethren came back with the great achievement of the area which calls now Free Kashmir. While on the other hand side, the picture is completely different. We followed United Nations. We have been following United Nations. We are claiming United Nations. We are still standing with United Nations. While on the other hand side, United Nations is denied from the victim. Indian forces withdrawals never happened. Increased every day, every month, every year. And now more than 1 million Indian army soldiers are there on the land of indigenous Kashmiris. Very sad sharing part, but you can see how do we respect the international justice system, how do we work hard honoring the United Nations, while on the other hand side, how the United Nations orders are being violated. Time went on and went on. Many resolutions were being passed in the favor of plebiscite, referendum, and every resolution is being accepted open-heartedly by Pakistan, while on the other hand side, delay tactics, no approval, no acceptance is from the Indian side. Further, we go on, a war happens 1971, an agreement happened between India and Pakistan called Shimla Agreement, according to which the heads of states would sit down and find the solution for the Kashmir issue. Again, you can check it out whatsoever nationally, internationally, Pakistan stood by with the agreement and kept trying for the solution of Kashmir. India's response again at 0 degree, no to discussion, no to debate, no to argumentation, no to table talk. It means that no to finding solution for Kashmir. Now, how India takes this Shimla Agreement, you can check it out that India says that after this Shimla Agreement, there is no value of United Nations resolutions. I'm sure you are the visionary gentleman. You can weigh the words and you can just try to understand that how this tactic is played and to whom they are trying to convince that after Shimla Agreement, there is no value of United Nations resolution. When we talk about United Nations, we talk about a family, a global family, a world family, a family which is responsible not only for this Kashmir issue, but any kind of issue which is not to be resolved by the countries. And how India is proclaiming, where that Shimla Agreement does not say in any of its clause, in any of its points, that after this agreement there will be no role of United Nations resolution. Now the Indian claim, while on the other hand side, Pakistan's claim is crystal clear. Pakistan says, well, fine, we do accept and we do stand with the Shimla Agreement, but it cannot be possible that Shimla Agreement is more important than the United Nations resolutions. The United Nations resolutions are not being passed by any one country. They are being passed by the world. So for us, the honor of the world is a lot more than one country who is not honoring United Nations. This is how the things were keep going, keep happening, and we saw that Kashmir could not have any kind of resolve. Here a question comes further when there will be question answer session. I would like to listen from you. But here I add that United Nations could not yet implemented its own resolutions. Situations remain worse. On the other hand side, Kashmiris' choice to join Pakistan remain really as firm as the wave was. When we see them raising the slogans of Kashmir wants to be Pakistan, Kashmir is Pakistan, so Pakistani emotions definitely take it as an obligation. Responding that brethren calling there for support need us. At this stage, when we are really unable to support them through different mediums, but at least the voice goes back with the same energy, even more energy, that yes, Pakistan stands with you, Pakistan stands with Kashmir, and now it is the time that Pakistan is going to awaken the world for the issue of Kashmir. When we talk about the current situation in Kashmir, I'm sure each one of you is connected with the social media. Each one of you is connected with the print media. All of you are connected with the electronic media. Many of the cadets are here from different countries. They can observe what is going on. Many things I may not need to repeat here again, but whenever you watch it, whenever you observe it, whenever you go through it, one thing is common there for all of us, that is pain for humanity. Gentlemen, let me tell you, the Kashmir current situation are full of barbarian attacks, kidnapping, rapes, and so on, whatever you may name terrorism in the real meanings. In the recent days, what is being imposed in Kashmir is actually the philosophy called Hindutva, the philosophy of extremism. I would request you to Google this philosophy of Hindutva, how it is teaching, what it is teaching. Please do Google about the RSS, who are the followers of RSS, what is their mission and vision, and how they are trying to violate all the basic human rights in Kashmir. The abolishment of Article 370, 35A of the Indian Constitution definitely is to be condemned, rejected by the indigenous Kashmiris, rejected by Pakistan, and rejected by the world actually. Who say that whatsoever, when the question comes, they did it. I always say that when you have occupied each centimeter land, holy land of Kashmir, and you are the people who have imposed the curfew for nearly 200 days, then you may make whatever the legislation you like, whatever the law you like, whatever you like to abolish, whatever you like to create. But we have to make the world understand that what is going on in Kashmir on the name of abolishing sovereignty of the Kashmiris. What is Article 370 and 35A, which gave the power to the Kashmiris that nobody else can come over and take the nationality of Kashmir, by the land of Kashmir till the matter is solved. And in the wink of eye, the manifesto of one government involved in India comes and just totally finishes everything. Well, as I earlier said, when you have occupied, everything is in your control, you may do it, but it cannot be accepted. It is rejected, it would be rejected, and it would fail. Because when world is not accepting, United Nations does not accept, so how the people of Kashmir and the people of Pakistan accept? The current situation, as you see, I was discussing earlier on with your senior officers as well. Somehow the Creator has different systems to support different people in the world. So So I see it somehow a blessing disguised that since last 9-10 months, things have gone quite differently. The same issue, which was not accepted as an issue by Indian government, they were not ready to accept it even as a dispute. They were not ready to accept that Kashmiris are asking for freedom. Kashmiris do not want to remain under the oppression, under the depression, under the suppression of Indian terrorism. But now those same things have gone internationalized. The world has started asking the question. Developed nation, Arab nations, and all the nations around the world are asking questions. Why is it so? What is the matter of Kashmir? Why Kashmiris are not getting right of referendum? Why no plebiscite if United Nations has passed the resolutions again and again? The world has started asking the question, is United Nations that much weak? Is United Nations that much weak that unable to implement its own resolutions? The world has started asking the questions. And in the daily media, you can watch it. You see that even the United Nations Security Council second meeting held, United Nations PG, the Director General, he was over here in Pakistan on the visit, and on different platforms, the question is being asked for the solution of Kashmir. The possible solution, the third part of our session. When we talk about the solution of Kashmir, the best solution of Kashmir and the only solution of Kashmir is the solution given by United Nations. And United Nations has given a solution in its own resolution that there should be plebiscite, there should be referendum, and who will decide? Not the Indian people, not the Pakistani people, but the indigenous Kashmiri people. They have the right to decide what do they want. Whether they want to remain under the terrorism, under the oppression of India. Do they want to join Pakistan? For them, they have given many lives and still they raise the voice. Kashmir wants to be Pakistan, or they want to be an independent state. This decision has to be made by the people of Kashmir. Now here, let me add one thing, that this plebiscite and referendum cannot happen under these barbarian soldiers of Indian army. It cannot be possible, it cannot be the just one, it cannot be the free one. The plebiscite would help, and the first condition is that these all armies should be withdrawn from the land of Kashmir, as it was being promised in the resolution, the first resolution 47, where it says that if the tribals are also withdrawing, it is obligation to the Indian forces to withdraw from the land of Kashmir. United Nations peacekeepers should take over, and under their observation, plebiscite, referendum should help, and they should tell the world what Kashmiris are demanding through the results of that plebiscite. And what is the stance of Pakistan? Pakistan's stance on Kashmir is crystal clear, as I said, from the day one. You may take the references of the speeches of Prime Minister of Pakistan, who open-heartedly always say that we stand with the United Nations, we stand with the resolutions of United Nations, and we stand with the Kashmiri brethren, and we want that the implementation of United Nations resolution should happen at the earliest. While on the other hand side, you may see a long, deep silence, no response, because when you have done the barbarian operations for 7 decades, when you have killed the innocent people, when you have torn the respect of sisters and mothers, then you cannot expect that people will vote in your favor. It cannot be possible that you have injured the souls of Kashmiris and you expect that they will vote in your favor. That's why there is a long silence. That's why there is no to plebiscite. That's why there is abolishment of Article 370, 35A. That's why there is try to convert the majority of Muslims to the minority. That's why there is no yes to plebiscite. That's why there is no yes to implementation for the resolutions by the United Nations. This is what the stance of Pakistan is, and on the other hand side, you can see what is the stance of India. Now here, one last message before question answer start. To you all, cadets from different countries, you all are very dear to us. You all are very honorable to us. You all are our family and our ambassadors, the country you belong to. On the humanitarian grounds, it is my appeal as a Pakistani, as a human being, that kindly do check out the talks I have made. Google is here for the verification of each one the reference I use. You may come back to me, may contact back. I'll share my email, social media pages. I'm here to answer you. But whenever, wherever, however, the medias you use, the countries you go to, kindly on the humanitarian grounds, speak for the rights of Kashmiris. Kindly speak about the implementation of resolutions of United Nations for the plebiscite on Kashmir. Kindly take this message internationally and talk about on the humanitarian grounds. Our governments may have different commercial boundaries, we may have different political boundaries, we may have different relationships, we may belong to different faiths as well, but as I started, the way I'm ending, let's get together and bring the world together and tell the world that on the humanitarian ground, support the Kashmir cause. It is not remain the cause of only Kashmiri brothers and sisters. It is not the cause of only Pakistanis. It is the cause which is the cause of humanity. And when we talk about the cause of humanity, each one who calls himself an educated person, a learned person, an enlightened person, a responsible human being, has to take this responsibility as an obligation to highlight and tell the world that please come forward. This is the first dispute, this is the first issue we must solve, and then yes, we have to take the other issues like Palestine and other wherever the human rights violations are happening. It is our duty, it is our moral obligation, and I know this thing, that once the world is awakened, definitely we all belong to United Nations. And United Nations has to become strong enough, brave enough to come forward and implement its own resolutions. Thank you very much. You may have the question, please.
Mohammed Heather. So I wanted to ask a question, sir, that our view is crystal clear about Kashmir, sir, that most of the population is Muslim. They are treated like slaves in the Kashmir. And so, moreover, sir, the Kashmiris, they desire to annex Kashmir with Pakistan. Sir, then what is the holding, sir? Why Indians are holding this issue in the UN? What is their point of view on the basis of which this issue is not yet resolved? Thank you, sir.
Thank you, gentlemen. See, the Indian side, they are using the delay tactics where they don't want the implementation of United Nations resolution. On the other hand side, I would say this is the poverty, weakness, and even ignorance of the world, that they are not coming forward to make India realize that this is not something to be delayed for centuries and centuries. The world dynamics have changed. It is not the time of 286, 386, 486, pending 1, 2, 3, 4. The world has gone quite forward. Now the people ask the question, as you are asking question, what is making you delay the decision? So the things are on the way where India has to realize, and we have to make India realize through a global family, through an international family of United Nations, that you have to do it. You have to withdraw your army from the occupied Kashmir. United Nations has to send its peacekeepers, and plebiscite is needed. It is the right of Kashmiris. It is not something illogical. It is not something unethical. It is not something illegitimate. It is not something what is, out of the boundaries of United Nations. The delay tactics wouldn't work anymore. Thank you.
The question is that why is power like USA is not able to implement its own resolution? Sir, if they want to do something, they must have done something for Palestine, Syria, and all the countries which are facing the same problem. So the question is why they are not able to implement their own resolutions.
Thank you. USA and UNO, both are different things. One is United States of America, other is United Nations Organization. But mostly the actions make us think that both are same. Definitely, USA and all the world powers, and even let me use the technical word, veto powers. It is more obligation, more responsibility of all of them to come forward and get these resolutions implemented. The failure of implementation actually is the failure of these all nations. There is need of it. When you ask them why they are not doing, all the countries, especially these countries, they have their own national interests. But as I said in my speeches, I will repeat it, that my dears, people of America, the people of Europe, the people of Arab, the people of Asia, let's get together, forget that what happened in the past, and then stand together for the solution of Kashmir, where the implementations are needed, and then further on, go on and solve even the matters of Palestine and whatever are held there for many, many years. And this is all, you all can do it, we all have to do it, we have to take it on the humanitarian grounds, And the people of the world, let me clarify one thing, that people ask the question, people understand the question, and people do not accept without the rational answer. That reasoning faculty work very well. And as I say always, yes, the developed nations may have the better rational approach. So we have to approach them, we have to tell them, we have to make them understand. Those even do not know the name of Kashmir have to understand what is the issue of Kashmir and what do Kashmiris want. Thank you.
Professor, my question is that in 2-3 decades, any country can become the mayor of the world. But it's almost seven decades where the Kashmir issue has not been resolved. And why should we not take forward good step to resolve it or to get it?
Thank you, sir. 70 years have passed. To my forefathers, to your families, they may have not as serious as the people of Kashmir. Let me tell you, just after this session, I will request you, when you go back to your barracks, your rooms, kindly close the eyes and imagine your closest friend whose mother is being raped and killed. Imagine someone very close to you whose sister is taken by Indian Army. Imagine someone very close, the father is taken away for months and nobody knows where he is, what crimes are being against him, whether he's alive or not. Just imagine the situation that door knocks and someone is taken away without any kind of warrant, without any kind of blame, without any kind of crime, and just imagine how do you feel. It is a misery. It is painful. My dears, it's really very painful. It seems like we are not going through, but we can imagine as a human being what is going on with the Kashmiris for the last 7 decades. Enough is enough. If the world does not rise up against such kind of terrorism, the word when I am using terrorism, let me again focus it. This is actually the real terrorism. When you occupy the land of someone, when you occupy the house of someone, when you kill the young child of someone, when you play with the respect of someone's mother, daughter or sister, this is the real terrorism. But enough is enough. If 70 years United Nations failed to implement, India did not stop, even increase the height of its criminal mindset, it does not mean that it must be continued. It needs to stop, it would stop, and as I said, with the peaceful way, we all are going to do it. We are going to awaken this world and tell them that kindly, come out now. The world needs peace, and this peace cannot be possible without solving the matter of Kashmir. You cannot have the peace in the region and in the world without solving the matter of Kashmir. Do not take it very easy. Both countries are atomic power. You are not going to only launch the countries like Pakistan and India into war, but you are going to play with the Third World War. May God forbid. Thank you. Next, please.
So my name is Mr. Raja. So I'm referring to the last question being asked by the candidate that we are still waiting for 70 odd years that have been passed, and we are still waiting for the UN to implement the resolution. So is there any no other way that same we can get the results? Because we are waiting and things are getting very worse in the territory.
Thank you, sir. Here, let me accept and let me answer your question that in the past, 70 years passed, but the campaign did not work as it needed to be worked upon. We did not launch it as intensively as it has been launched for last these few months. We did not do as much hard work through our diplomatic channels to make the world know what Kashmir issue is. We did not work on lobbying. We did not work politically as strongly as we needed to do it. The only solution right now is there, that is the solution through United Nations. But as I said, we must accept our weaknesses from the past, that we could not work hard to make United Nations realize that enough is enough. Now there should be solution of Kashmir issue. You can see the United Nations Security Council's 2 meetings in this all time. You can see that it is being even pushed by China. You can see that it is being openly supported by Malaysia. You can see that it is being topped by the Turkish. Now these few countries have come forward. It is our duty to bring the world together, increase the pressure on India to come on table and work to implement the resolutions of United Nations. So if with the proper strength, if with the proper campaigns, things are being done, I am sure the time is not far when we will see the solution of Kashmir. Thank you.
Sir, first of all, my sincere apologies to Vati just because I had to leave for a couple of times. That is against basic etiquette. But we have an exercise going on and there was some training class which I had to do. I, on behalf of the Commandant Pakistan Naval Academy, Commodore Rahim Mahmood, Sarek Military, thank you a lot for spending your valuable time and educating us on this important topic. But before I conclude, I would just like to highlight because 3-4 questions have been asked. Most important thing is that, yes, as Vati guest speaker also said, we have not utilized all elements of national power which should have been utilized in the most effective manner. We, unfortunately, it is failure on our part that we did not do much to address all these things. And such an important thing, it is not just a matter of land, it is a matter of Kashmiris. We should have been looking after them and we should have raised the case appropriately. Again, why India is not accepting, why America is not doing, if you just look around. Wherever America or the United States and Europeans, wherever they have wanted, they have done it. Whether it be East Timor, whether it be Sudan, whether it be Bosnia, Serbia, Croatia, wherever, like, and I just, one of our brigadiers, he was there in East Timor when this plebiscite was being held, and he was telling that before results were compiled, it was already announced that East Timor have voted for separation from Indonesia. You see, it is not just what are ethics. In international relations, relevance matters. And what we have to do is we have to make sure that we become relevant. And till the time we are not relevant, people are not going to listen to whatever we have to say. whether we stand on principles or whether we don't stand on principles. Like India does not stand on principles, but some way, one way or the other, India is more relevant. Maybe convergence of interest with European powers, with the clash of civilizations, and for us being only nuclear power, divergence of interest, people are not looking at us. At the same time, we can only become relevant economically and militarily. If one aspect among these two aspects is missing, we can't be relevant. We have to be militarily strong, we have to be economically strong. Till the time these two things are not addressed, we will not become relevant. China, maybe 25 years back, people might not listen what Chinese President or Prime Minister would say. But now, each and every single statement does matter. Because China has become relevant. China was relevant before 25 years militarily. Now China is relevant economically as well. So people listen to China. So we have to look at our failures and we have to make up all our shortcomings so that all the impending issues they are addressed. At the same time, I had an opportunity to have look on a classified document and of United States, and it was it very clearly and explicitly it talked about the Kashmir issue, it talked about Junagadh issue, it talked about Hyderabad issue. And on the same perspective, which perspective we do have. But then also, because of national interest, because of relevance, people are afraid to talk about it. So with this, I thank you very much once again for spending